Hello, I'm at Bramshaw Telegraph, parked there, quite a busy car park, and again I'm in the New Forest, and I'm just heading out to Cooper's Hill, and it's just become very apparent that I'd forgotten my tripod for my vlogging camera, so I'm holding it at arm's length, and I'm walking into the forest now, or the edge of it. I'm actually going to skim the side that sees the sunlight as the golden hour approaches. My makeshift tripod for my vlogging camera is this brick, which I found as I was leaving the car park. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. Brick! Nothing beats walking through an ancient wood. If you think about it, you've got pine trees in the New Forest as well. But when you've got things like this, look at that. Beautiful old oak. I'm just walking on the outskirts of the woodland here, ancient woodland. And you can see the sun is just starting to pierce the canopy and the tree trunk layer. As the sun gets lower, it will reach further into this wood. But this is the best part of the wood, I think. The ancient woods. Those pine trees just don't do anything for me. But when you've got stuff like this, look at this. What's going on there? Straight up. That's quite unusual for an oak. I've not seen an oak do that. For me, the oak trees just sort of branch out more to the sides and become a bit more of a ball. You do need to bear in mind when you are taking photos in the forest with the sun setting, you need to bear in mind that the light is going to sweep across as it's setting as well. So your light might be there 1 minute and then it will be gone the next. And you need to somewhat move quite quickly if you've got a bit of light in a certain place you want it. Look at the light just on this little bit here. That could make a nice little photo in itself. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for where the light is and where it lays. I can then box that in. So if I just want that in, close in there, it will be way more interesting than trying to get even the sun star through the branches. That's probably a bit much. What you want to do is just concentrate on the area where the light is really beautiful there. Look at that. Take that off. I'm going to put the lens hood on because it might prevent a little bit of flare into the lens. I can probably do f11. I'm going to do ISO 64. And I'm going to do a shutter speed that gets the histogram just off the clipping end of the light side. So that will be your right hand side of the histogram. So this is what I'm seeing. This is all I'm interested in. I just kind of want to box that in like that. Beautiful light over here, backlighting the ferns there. Yeah, just a really nice simple shot. I think it works. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just walking around this wood, looking for where the light's hitting and trying to pick out my most interesting parts. So yeah, that's that shot. I bought the D850 with me today, and I've also bought two lenses. I bought the 24 to 70 and I've also bought the 70 to 200mm. There's a nice scene here. It looks a bit chaotic. It looks a bit chaotic, but it looks beautiful with the light spilling through the trees. Look at this, you've got an old, too many trees going on to separate them out, but with that light, like I said, spilling through the trees there, it's actually creating quite a beautiful scene. Now I could come over here. Not sure if I need to get rid of. I need to try and remove things from the scene to make it a bit more simple, because this is very chaotic. So who needs the tripod when you've got this lovely big branch and it's raised somewhat off the floor? So I'm just grateful there's no wind today. So yeah, what I'm looking for here, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and move around it. It might be that there's not a picture here. That could work. There's a bright patch of sky lighting up through there though. Kind of, yeah, there you go. If I stand up, I actually cut out some of the sky, which you do want to try and eliminate in a lot of woodland photography. If you are taking pictures of the woods, you don't want too much sky showing. Kind of using the light coming through here, as that's a point your eyes are going to head to. You want to look out into that scene. There's loads of ferns out there, but I've got this interesting foreground here, and the roots and shadows are guiding you into it, and then this just falling off on the side here is just adding a bit of balance to what's going on the other side. I can even do HDR here. Photo number 1. Now underexpose. In fact, this is going to be the middle one. And then underexpose, just so I can get some of that light in the background. Now something that's just occurred to me is that I've allowed for a bit of light to come through on the sky area. So I'm just going to shift ever so slightly, not too much. You saw me just move there. Just going to check the shutter speed again, just bring that back, because that's the only one I'm adjusting. I'm not adjusting anything else here. I'm in full manual mode. I'm only adjusting the shutter here. Everything else is locked in. I do need to focus again, so I'm going to do that again. Lock it in, then switch it off so it doesn't keep seeking again when I take my next couple of images. So I'll stick that image up so you can have a look at that. That is either going to be HDR or it's going to be the mid-ranged or underexposed image with the shadows pushed out a little bit. I'm going to head out of the woods now. I've just stepped outside the other side of the path here, the gorse bushes, and I'm looking across the marsh now. But I've got stunning ponies just standing in the idealistic spots that I want to photograph, and I'm thinking if I can just keep walking to the left here, I could probably line up a pair of beautiful white ones with the setting sun. Again, take your camera off of the tripod, move around your scene a little bit and try and find yourself an image. You might not even need the tripod if you're, focusing on animals here. I tend to get the aperture down a little bit and throw the background. It's not so important as the actual animal subject itself to me. So yeah, working with shallower depth of field kind of goes in my favour here. But again, I am still looking out for the ferns in the foreground because I love the colours and the sun's hitting the backlight, giving it backlight at the moment. And the ones that seem to be still alive are the ones that are just reaching out at the top of all the dead ones just to get that last bit of light. And with animals here, it's about timing. I want to get the heads up. I want them looking. I don't want them grazing, and they will spend most of their time with their heads down. I think I might switch the lens up, you know. 70mm not quite got enough reach. Grab this lens. I've got a nice little collar on it now with the plate on it for my tripod that I'm currently using. But this one is the one that I'm after, and what I'm doing f8, which gives me a good well, I might need to come down a bit. I need to get in fact the ISO can come up. I'm going to get the ISO up to 200. That will give me a bit more shutter, because if that horse moves its head up, I need to capture that. I can probably get a bit more out of that, so I can go down with the ISO. When that horse lifts its head, I'm going to hopefully... There he is. The bit I've chosen is here, but as you can see, this is nice, and then there's nastiness. So by getting a bit lower, I should be able to close that up, but I also want to keep a little bit of separation between some of these here. And if it points towards the sunset, then that would just be amazing. So let's see if I can work this scene. I'm going to go for a portrait here. I believe that will work best. It will get me some nice sky in it. The clouds are still got to catch a little bit more. Now if I attempted to do HDR here, I'm going to lose, because this tripod is bouncing. Even the sky's a little bit weighted now on one side. I really want it into the sun though, because that's how you get good backlight. My focus is on a bit of bracken, just a bit of the fern to the right, rather than the one that's bang on in the foreground. It's just off to the side a little bit. And then what I'm doing is I'm just throwing the exposure back and forth to what I think is right. And I'm staring into the sun a bit too much here, and my eyes now got a blob in the middle of it where I've just looked at the sun. Yeah, just so you can have a look. That's now the sun gone. Sky's gone a bit dark here. There's still a bit of pink on the opposite side of the sky, and it's always good to keep your eye on the sky behind you, because if it's beautiful that way, you can look for a few shots that side as well. So yeah, I'm heading home now. So if you haven't already, please give me a like and subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up as well. That means a lot to me. And smash that bell if you want to be notified of my next video, which is a beautiful location coming up next time. I'll see if I can get 2 videos out there. And yeah, until then, I'll see you next time. Bye. Shite. Take the camera off the, see you then.